Hey, what's up guys? It's Jack and Dan.
And today we made an awesome beta tank out of one of our old aquariums.
Yeah, check out this awesome centerpiece tank we made for our little kind of rec room table. Let's come over there and we're gonna grab the camera and show you guys what's going on here. So, for those of you who did not see the video we did a couple years ago, Jack and I made a little bamboo planter out of this old tank, didn't we?
Yeah.
So this was the aquarium that we had upside down in our 220-gallon tank as an aqua cave, right?
Yeah.
That was the first video we ever posted on YouTube. Remember that? It was like almost 4 years ago.
Yeah, we had it in that tank. Yeah.
And it was upside down in that tank, and it had these little air holes in it, which we plugged, which we'll show you how we did that.
We used it before we used it as the aqua cave. We just put it in there, and then we turned it into other stuff.
Well, it was upside down in there, and our turtles used to go up inside of it, and then we had a raft in there, and it was really cool. Iastigi, one of our turtles, who from a long time ago, who recently passed away, but she loved going in here, and she was in the big tank. And what we decided to do was we made a little bamboo planter out of it. You can see there was like dirt in it, and then we put some old gravel in it and some bamboo clippings from some of our bamboo plants, and we had it actually out here on this table. You could kind of see where the rectangle was. We had it out there, and we kept it out there for 2 summers, and in the winter times, we would bring it in here. And recently, we got a new dining room, kind of like an older dining room set. We got this at one of those like donation places for veterans. Remember we went on like President's Day, and we basically were looking just for something in this front room to have, and I think it was like $600, and then they marked it down to $300 because they were running out of room. Here, I'll move this tripod out of the way. And then they had a President's Day sale for like $150. So we went and got it and cleaned it up, and it's a really cool, awesome old kind of dining room set that was in remarkable condition. We cleaned it all up and put it in here. Matches pretty good, right?
It does, yeah. It matches pretty nicely. Like the bamboo matches nicely with the wood.
Yeah, we just Pamela's got the little spring things out. Anyway, what happened is this was always, when it was outside, it was getting covered in leaves and the oak tree strings and the gall wasp balls. Remember we did a whole video on the gall ball things that fell from the egg sacs and all that. And then we would bring it inside, and we could only fill it, we had to watch that the water didn't come past the holes. We always had to clean it, and then we put it back outside. And then it would get clogged, and you were like, why don't we just make a tank out of it? And I was like, you know what? Let's try it. So we actually started this project 2 months ago. We let this kind of dry out. We moved everything out of the way. We took a tiny piece of plastic. You can barely see a little clear piece of plastic there, just a trimming from an old aquarium top thing. Put some silicone on it, pushed it through the little hole that we had as an air escape hole for the aqua cave, and did that on both sides. And we just started kind of filling it with water. and we just slowly filled it. It didn't have any leaks. It didn't have any problems. And the bamboo seemed to do pretty well. And we had that up for about a month, and then we put in some of these little autosinkless guys, because when we got those guppies, remember we got a whole bunch of these autosinkless? So we put about 4 or 5 of those guys in there. They started going around cleaning everything, and they were doing well. And this is a big old kind of granite quartz thing that we got at the Grand Canyon. Remember that last year for Christmas? Oh, that little beta just freaked out. For Christmas, we got that. These were some old structures that we had from tanks, a little bridge and stuff. And then these little glass flower things are really neat. I got those. Those are blown glass that I got from like a flea market a long time ago. I don't even remember when. And we just kind of threw them in there. I've just kept them over all the years. We threw some rocks down in there. We don't want the autos like getting down in there and getting stuck because they get real narrow, right? Mm-hmm. And then we went up to the store, and last time we were at Best in Pets, we got one of these before. It was pretty cool. It's like a little coconut moss bridge thing. They sell them for about 10, 15 bucks there. Pretty cool. We still had some trade-in value from when we took those Galaxy baby plecos and stuff. So we threw that guy in here and just kind of made this little thing. And the bamboo that was in here was doing good. So then it was full for about a month. And the autos were in here and everything was going good. And really, we didn't have to do anything. It was staying clear. It was staying clean. We weren't needing to filter it. We weren't needing to do water changes. The autos were doing good. And so what we do have is we have that little battery-powered, go grab it out of the closet real quick, just so I can show, little battery-powered transportation pump, air pump. And what I do is about once a week, maybe twice a week, I put it in here for about 10 or 15 minutes. That's our fish tank. That's over on the other side. It's, I stick it in here and just let it aerate for about 10 or 15 minutes. And you can see there's no film on the top if I get real close here. And what it does is it kind of breaks down the proteins and the film on the top. And I just do that for about once or twice a week. Yeah, this little guy, go ahead and switch that on. It's a little battery-powered deal. Joseph's Tropical Tank sent us this a long time ago. He's got his little thing on there as like a little gift. And it's just I just clip it right on the side, and I just throw it in there. And that's like for when you pick up a fish, say you're far away and you got them in your car and you want to aerate it.
Well, you want to keep them safe and everything.
Yeah, so I just clip it on the side during my lunch break, and I stick the stone in here, and it kind of bubbles up, and it just takes that film off the top, particleizes it, lets it drop to the bottom. I've only done that about maybe 5 or 6 times, about once a week or so after the initial setup was done. And then after a whole month, we were up at Best in Pets, and we decided to get some of these female betas. So we got, and they keep their female betas kind of in other tanks all together. So there's a red one, and she's really, really cool. She's like pink and red. She's got some green and blue on her. And then there's this one, don't they call these like the mustard gas ones or something? They're kind of like green and blue, and then they have like the brown fins. And then this is the white one. Look at this one. She's probably the biggest. She's got like black eyes and she's white. And I think most of them are just beta splendens, except this one. The red one looks like she might be a crown tail. And then there was a blue one. Oh, here's a blue one right over here. Isn't that neat? And so she's got like the little stripe, but sometimes the stripe comes or goes. So they have, this is 3 feet long, guys. And like I said, we got this table. We just had a little work table here. We decided to get this, and it's kind of neat because the money all goes to the veterans, like local veterans, and to provide, food for them and stuff like that, to deliver meals and stuff for them. It's really neat. So the person donated the set, and there's George. Say hi, George. We're doing a video on the tank, but it's Sunday afternoon, and you're tired, and you just want us to leave you alone. But you can see these guys have a whole 3 feet, and I think it's 10 inches in width, and I think, or 9, and then it's 10 or 11 tall, and then 3 feet. And we got this from, what's the name of that company again? It's got a little thing over here on it. Where'd that little emblem go? Maybe it's on this side. Yeah, here it is. It's Aquamax. We've talked about them before. It's hard to focus in on that because it's like clear.
I think it was designed to be like a nice little fish tank to have like this.
There it is, Aquamax.
Because it doesn't have like those silicone edges. But
Yeah, it's a seamless, not seamless, but frameless tank. Kind of fancy, but we wanted to make a cool aqua cave,
It
and
looks like a restaurant tank.
yeah, it's super nice. But again, we got a deal because I don't know, they had a promotion, and we drilled the holes in the side and we used it as an aqua cave. And Iastigi basically got too big for it, and then we built the pond and stuff anyway. But she was pretty old and she just didn't live. But Larry and Kame are obviously, and they're now loving it. But this has really just been awesome. The whole thing just matches so well, you know, in the front room here, and it's just kind of like a morning room. The sun comes in really cool here in the morning. In fact, we did a whole bunch of shorts, and if you haven't seen those, check out our shorts where we show this in the morning, about 7, 8 in the morning, especially in the wintertime. That sun comes beaming through her and it hits this side and it just shines through it, and man, it's spectacular. So we did a bunch of shorts that kind of show that. But anyway, this has been 2 months now. These guys, these betas, these young ladies have been in there for a month. So it's been set up for 2 months. The autosynclists have been in here for the whole 2 months. The beta's been in here for a month, and they're doing quite well. So the bamboo seems to be doing good. Some of these leaves that are lower down under the water might end up rotting. It seems like the autos are kind of feeding on them. You can see one right there. If they start to rot or, you know, wither, the autos are kind of eating them. So that's kind of cool. Here's this guy here. He's kind of feeding on this one here. See, it's got some little loose fibers on it, and they just eat them. So we're hoping between the autos and the betas, you know, we just don't really have to clean it. We just throw that bubbler in here. We've only done that about once a week to break the proteins on the surface, but we're hoping to not even have to do that much longer as this, you know, continues to settle. They've been picking on this moss bridge a lot. We'll see how that thing goes. But overall, we're probably going to add some snails. We don't want to add snails right away. We're still kind of the little gall balls have kind of been popping up here and there. We're just kind of still taking things out that kind of start floating or appearing. But I think for the most part, it's doing incredibly well. It's very clear. We've had to top it off a couple times, pour some water in, but we haven't done any water changes. It's not heated. We did wait until winter was pretty much over because this room does get cold up here because this is facing north, so it's the coldest room in the house. But starting next winter, we do have a couple of space heaters, and we'll probably throw one. When I used to work up here before I moved my office to the back, kind of there's an outlet under there. I may bring it out and just kind of warm this room up.
You don't want them to be too cold.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's going to be about 70 degrees in the house, but it can still get a little colder in this room because the garage is right here. So ultimately, I am really thrilled about how this is going. They seem to really like going underneath. They go into this little bridge here. They really like going in a little house. Sometimes there'll be one up top, one up on the bottom. The white one usually hangs out in the house here. She's doing awesome. And then right here, this moss bridge, they go under there. I think we'll probably, you know what kind of snails we've been looking at? Like rabbit snails. They're pretty neat. And there was a rabbit snail that we found, we were looking online, called like a galaxy rabbit snail that has like black and white spots, kind of like our galaxy plecos do. And I would love to put a couple of those in here. But yeah, it's really worked out well. It's kind of cool sitting here eating and just watching these guys, and they're looking at you and everything. How do you like how it all came out, man? I mean, it's totally neat, isn't it?
It's good, yeah, and it's completely quiet because again, there's no filter, there's no electronics. It's just a thing. It's just a tank with some water.
Yeah. I mean, really, I just put that air stone in there maybe once a week or so, and bubble it for a few minutes while I'm doing lunch. But these guys seem to be doing really good. What we're gonna do is we're gonna feed them, but that'll actually be at the beginning of the video. So we're gonna put some music and some feeding at the beginning, just as an introduction, but we're gonna feed them now. And you kind of see them eating stuff like that. We're not really putting much food in for the autosynclists because we don't really want to have them have too much. We want them to just keep the tank clean, and they seem to have plenty of room here. There's only about 4 or 5 of these little guys with all the stuff that's in here and all the 3 feet of gravel here along. They're kind of just digging through, and they eat the remnants that the beta don't eat. But real happy about how this has all gone. This is a really fun project. We've never done a completely like you know, no CO2, no air, no pump, no filter, no nothing. We've never done anything like that. Jack's getting tired. It's Sunday afternoon. He got a little yawn going there. But that's what this tank does to you, right? You're sitting here, and it just like puts you to sleep. It's so relaxing. Super, super cool because it's right at eye level too. Like, let me sit down and just show you. So if you're sitting down, this is what you're looking at. This one's really pretty, man. So there you go, guys. If you've never tried doing anything like this, we highly recommend it. We might end up, like I said, putting some of the snails in here. We also might try some different kinds of plants. We just happen to have bamboo in it at the time. Some of these guys that are completely submerged might not last. They seem like they're doing pretty good for 2 months already, though, and they're doing great. This big bamboo here was actually one that had some fungus at the top. It was in one of our tanks, and we chopped it off, and we put it in here, well, last year. And it started sprouting out of the top, and then it even has a sprout, if you look at the bottom, that sprouted underneath the water since we filled it in. Kind of, that's what a lot of times the bamboo will do. Out of the shoots out of the bottom, it'll kind of propagate and grow babies kind of out of there and stuff, you know. Yeah, that red one seems to be a little bit of a chaser sometimes to some of the other ladies, but there's so much room and places for them to go and stuff, so we're hoping they kind of get used to each other. If she ends up being too much of a problem, we got other tanks and things that we can kind of put her in and stuff like that. But she seems to be really the only one that's kind of aggressive. We could put her with Mary. Mary will set her straight, right? She's like 3 times these guys' size, but no, we wouldn't do that. But yeah, we might put other kind of plants in here, maybe some moss balls, maybe another moss bridge if that one does well. Maybe we'll put another one over here, but it's really cool. So anyway, we're going to feed them now, and of course that'll be in the beginning of the video too. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Make sure you check out our playlist and our other aquariums and some of the other fun stuff we do on this channel. And make sure to subscribe and see some future things we got coming up. Hopefully everybody's having an awesome spring. And we'll see you next time, guys, right?
What?
Say bye, George. George, say bye.